welcome back to the third quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show. My sidekick here, Andrew Guitros. We're moving right along, and let's get to some pictures. Last Thursday morning early, I went over to Opelousas General Hospital to get some annual blood work performed. When you say you had blood work, everybody gets word that this is an annual event. In fact, normally I used to go twice a year, but Dr. Mickey just scheduled it one time this year. Maybe he figured I couldn't pay that extra time, because I think all the insurance companies and Medicare only pays for one. I think I'm right on that. We got to get you supplemental. Yeah, something, some kind of something. But while I was there, ran across our longtime friend Keith Norman, and he invited me to go upstairs after I did the blood work. That doesn't take but 5 seconds, 5 minutes. And I want to thank Carla, by the way, that works in the lab for taking care of me very, very professionally, and she knows what she did for me. So Keith said, why don't you come upstairs to the Rotary Club? We're meeting upstairs, and you be my guest. So I did. I got there. It would
Sunrise Rotary.
Sunrise Rotary. Hadn't quite got started yet. Getting ready to get started. And I took a few pictures, and they had well, let me maybe go a little bit slower than this. Charlie Roy with Roy Motors.
Correct.
He is the programmed person for I guess a year at a time, and when you do a good job, I'm sure it's you get reelected pretty easy to those kind of jobs. But he brings a history to the group.
Oh, he's
and
big history buff,
his question was who brought the songs that they sing to Rotary, and it's a Mr. Walter Ruggles. He was the fifth Rotarian. Can you imagine when it began the whole thing 100 years, and that was in 1905. He brought the songs.
Years ago.
So it's been on for a long time, sang a few songs. Then they had a young lady, Caitlin Jolivet. You have a picture of Caitlin. That's Yvonne Norman there. That's Keith's wife. And, of course, she's the president of the Sunrise Rotary. And they meet every week, by the way, on Thursday mornings. And this young lady is Caitlin Jolivet. She is a student over at Opelousas, and she's a senior at Opelousas Senior High. She was chosen to go with the USA represent in the cross-country race over in Australia.
Really?
And she says it's a little America. She said it was very beautiful, and of course they speak English and all, so it makes it easy to travel and visit. And very, very interesting young lady. And they also, Charlie Roy asked who was the first female Rotarian in Opelousas. And the answer to that was Miss Geraldine Wembley, Lee Wembley's wife from over in Church Point, Louisiana. I say Lee. I think I'm right when I say Lee, and I'm not positive. Roy. I'm sorry. It's Roy. Lee is a brother. It's Roy Wembley. I'd get corrected on that.
Over there, Tony Wembley does those nice murals.
That's correct. And that's Chester Wembley, who lives over here in Swords.
We got it.
Just out of Lortel, Louisiana. So anyhow, thanks for the invite. Very, very interesting. And then we had some other pictures.
Our friend from
Monica over at St. Landry Homestead, one of our sponsors of the program here. And this is right after the meeting, former judge, retired judge, Bobby Brinkman. In fact, he still does some judge jobs when he's called upon.
Some moonlighting judge.
Moonlighting. And Albert Artigo from Washington, cousin Albert, and then Big Al Boudreaux, attorney here in Opelousas, Louisiana. And any other pictures?
Oh, I got a couple more.
Oh, no, okay. We went over to that. That was probably, would that have been Thursday also? But busy day. I think it was Thursday.
You went everywhere.
I went everywhere. Went over to Buck and Johnny's Pizzeria in downtown Brobridge, and boy, y'all need to go there and try the food and all.
It's good.
And it's good.
The building's beautiful, too.
Building is beautiful. The old Domingue Chevrolet dealer. And sitting down on the left is Hammy Patin, lives in Cow Island, and talked about him with the young lady we met met last week. We had her on the program. And then next to him sitting is Mr. Johnny Raymond and his lovely wife sitting standing right behind him. Miss Courtney Raymond, and then Mr. Ricky Hayes, who heads up their hospital, I'm sorry, not a hospital, a nursing home that they own in Breaux Bridge. And then all the way on the right, the big man there is Robert Cox. And I introduced myself to him, and he said, we've met before. I said, really? He said, yeah, we met two or three times, political meetings, and he's a close friend and did a lot of politicking for our former insurance commissioner, Jim Brown.
Jim Brown.
I said, please tell Mr. Jim hello for me, and I know he did it.
He's a character.
He is, and he lives right there in Lafayette, so he watches the program. Good morning to you, to all of you all.
And then here.
And this was Thursday night at the races, upstairs. We were I was kind of celebrating. We had just one hour race.
Got to celebrate.
Got to celebrate a little bit. On the left is Tammy Oye, Bobby Dupre, and then this is Miss Marianne, the little French girl who was spending her last night in Acadiana. Oh, yeah. She was heading out back to France, and she's in France this morning. Good morning to you. I know she'll be watching. Bonjour, comment ça va ce matin? Nous autres, on a parlé français. Elle est jolie petite fille. Elle a fait un beau job ici dans Applusas. And she was over at St. Landry. Solid Waste Commission. And next to her is Tommy Oye and our St. Andrew Parish Tourist Director, Miss Celeste Gomez. And then the next picture is Celeste on the left, Marianne, and then the boss over at the Solid Waste, Mr. Katri Morton. Good morning to you, Katri, and Tammy and Tommy. Oh, yes.
And one more.
And then we have Gary and his brother, the younger brother, Adam, and they are the Duplechans. And he says, Bobby, I want you to know that I had the privilege of working with Miss Agnes Daigle for 20 years.
No kidding.
What a wonderful person. What a lovely lady.
Your daughter Megan's Mimon.
Mimon, that's correct. That's what she called her, Mimon, and of course, Ginger's mama.
And you got some pictures at the point?
At the point.
What, you got a kayak?
We were riding in Jimmy and Vicky's boat. That would have been Saturday afternoon. Yeah. And kayaks, and they're fishing. Okay. Yes, sir. And look, they catch some big fish in those kayaks. There was 6 of them out there fishing Saturday afternoon. Probably we're having a little tournament. And they had a kids tournament going on at the same time for regular fishing.
And a sunset.
And a sunset, and I was getting some electrical work performed, a new fan on the little deck outside, and I just had to take a sunset.
Okay. How about this? Zydeco Festival is coming up this weekend, starting on Saturday, September the 1st. You can go to the breakfast at 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Courthouse Square. Free breakfast with good music. Curly Taylor's going to be playing. Be really nice. And then Saturday and Sunday, there'll be all sorts of bands playing. Saturday, predominantly Zydeco, and then Sunday, primarily kind of Louisiana country flavored. So go by. There won't be any dust. You don't have to worry about any dust, because after the hurricanes finish, it's going to be a little damper. But it still should be a good time. And how about this, too? We got on September the 7th, it's a Friday night, 6:30 p.m. at St. Landry Catholic Church, is the annual Father LaFleur's Mass. It's the anniversary of his death and remembering him, who was a priest and who died in the Second World War. Just a really noble guy. If you're in the military, if you're anybody interested in history and all, it's a good Mass to come out to. 6:30 p.m. September 7th on Friday night.
Denny Hamlin won the NASCAR Sprint Cup in Bristol, Tennessee. It's a half mile. It's just whoom.
And they do it at night under the lights.
Right. Beautiful little track, and it's like a bowl. It looks like Tiger Stadium. And I mean, really a good attendance. And he said that's the biggest win. It's such a great feeling to win that particular race. He had won a lot of races, but he had never won this one. And
Tony Stewart got the fastball award. He took that helmet. He flung it.
I didn't see how much they fined, but I know they're going to fine him.
I would think so.
Tony was hot-headed years ago. He was one of the
A little hot-headed is not bad.
Yeah.
They need a little controversy.
But he threw that helmet, and look, he did a good job. He threw it and hit that windshield right where he wanted it.
They said, "You want your helmet back?" He said, "I ain't worried about that helmet."
And it's so funny. And the other one is Kyle Busch was really the hothead for the last few years. His older brother has now taken over his position.
That's right.
And he's gotten to be the hothead.
It runs in the family.
It runs in the family. But I think that kind of helps draw the crowd, the excitement of what's next and who's going to be next. Line up, boys.
Who's mad? That's right.
And who's going to win the Sprint Cup Championship. And you know, he's on the lead. He's the top man right now. He could win this thing.
Piggly Wiggly. Let me get some sponsors in.
Yeah.
Second half of the show. Got to get them. Piggly Wiggly. 3 locations, the 3 Little Pigs, Simsport and Opelousas, with 2 locations south and north over here. If you're looking for nice meats there, they've got good specials on a weekly basis. They've got a deli and catering as well available to you on the south Piggly Wiggly here in town. Go by. The pig knows best with all kind of good specials every week. I don't have the specials this week because of the hurricane. Don't have my flyer with me.
Tomorrow
but go by, you'll take a look and you'll see a good place to go if you got to restock all that refrigerator and all that house. One more sponsor. How about the Quarters Casino? Go by the Quarters Casino and Travel Plaza over at exit 23 on I-49 North. Go to El Pico de Gallo from the Mexican restaurant and cantina. They've got 2-for-1 margaritas with your meal when you go 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Sundays. They've got the Chevron, all the great Chevron fuels, well lit. Well clean, good roof over your head so you don't have to get wet. Nice convenience store, huge convenience store with all kind of great things you can get, as well as crispy, crunchy fried chicken there. The Quarters Casino, and don't forget about gaming. Try your luck.
District 3 Councilwoman Fakisha Miller Matthews proposed a parish-wide recreation program. And not only is it's nice to see this recreation program presented for at least to start working on something of this nature. A lot of parishes have done this, and it works out well to the advantage of the youngsters, and we need to keep them busy. And also something positive on the council side. They've been in this, battle, and it's still going on. They've both sides have now hired some new attorneys, and they're spending a lot of money, and hopefully they can get that resolved and get back to fixing the roads. That's what we need in St. Landry Parish. If we can build the roads, the people want to come to the parish and live here. And there's a new cycling event. We talked about it just a little bit, but
Cycle Cajun Country is what they call it.
That's correct, and it's going to be next April 24th to the 28th. And
from Berwick to Opelousas. That's a long ride.
Long ride, beautiful trip, and it's going to be all on scenic route. So it's probably going to top the Zydeco bicycle event that's been taking place for about 5 years now, I guess, which was very good for St. Landry Parish. I don't mean that. This could maybe be as good, if not even better.
Right. Keep our bikers coming here.
Keep our bikers coming here, because they're not so concerned of the name. They're concerned about having fun, being in Cajun country, and it brings a lot. And that, by the way,
our buddy Kendall Broussard is big into that. Keith Hebert here in town is big into that as well.
And the event they held, the marathon that they held for raising money last weekend.
Triathlon.
I talked to Keith. He called to thank me. Remember, I said I participated. I loaned him a little trailer, and he called to thank us. And also, what?
1 minute break.
Thank you, Keith.
We're going to see y'all on the other side of 1 minute for the fourth quarter.